Hi everybody, this is Darryl One, Music Director of the Victoria Symphony Orchestra, here with a video preview of our April 29th season finale concert that we call Gershwin Hits. And yes, we will be playing Gershwin Hits, as well as another piece. This is our 49th season and our season finale, and next year will be our 50th, and we've got wonderful things planned, so stay tuned for details about that. But let's talk about this program. It's called Gershwin Hits because it begins with two very well-known pieces by George Gershwin. The first one, An American in Paris. So let me talk to you about it. It is an orchestral, what we call a tone poem, and it is Gershwin's musical thoughts about an American being in Paris, traveling around in the city, and eventually getting homesick, but eventually feeling like he loves it in Paris. So the beginning has the hustle bustle sound to it with taxi horns, and a little side note on these taxi horns. For years, we've always thought that there were certain pitches that were assigned to this only because Gershwin didn't write it on a staff with pitches. He only wrote rhythms and assigned a letter to each one, and it was mistaken that these letters meant pitches, but they don't. They actually meant the order. And it was found by an old photograph showing the horns that they were way different sizes than one would think for successive pitches like A, B, C, D. And so we found out that they are different. And I wanted to bring those to you in this performance, but unfortunately, those horns are very hard to come by and very expensive. Whereas the mistaken A, B, C, D horns, because they'd been played so often, have been somewhat standardized, and there are many sets that you can rent or you can borrow. So we will be performing with the ABCD pitch set and not what Gershwin intended, mostly just because it costs a lot more to get those horns than it is just to even rent the music. So it doesn't take away from it though, because they're supposed to be taxi horns, and they are. So you'll be hearing the American in Paris, the hustle and bustle of taxi horns, and then that famous blues theme in the trumpet that is supposed to show him being homesick. You all know that tune, of course. Anyway, this is a wonderful piece with many other very, very catchy and well-known tunes that you will no doubt recognize when you hear it. But American in Paris starts off, and then the British pianist Martin James Bartlett will come out and join us to play the Rhapsody in Blue. And everybody knows this piece, of course, especially the opening. Everybody knows the opening is by clarinet. And here's a recording of the live performance. Clarinet has this famous trill and then the slur up to the high note. Everybody knows that tune. And of course there's the United Airlines tune. This one. And so many other famous tunes that are in this. It's going to be terrific hearing these jazzy and popular sounding tunes all by Gershwin. Then finally we'll come to the second half, in which we'll be playing the piece sometimes affectionately known as Beethoven's 10th Symphony, the Brahms First Symphony, which is probably one of the great symphonies of all time. Cast in 4 movements, it is a symphony where each movement evokes strong emotions in a particular direction. The beginning, very, very powerful and faithful, and, well, I'll let you listen to it yourself. Just this sense of passion, but forceful destiny. And yet, if you go to the second movement, you hear this beautiful, slow-moving tune. And then on to the third movement, which is playful. Faithful, beautiful, playful. And then we have the last movement, which has a long introduction to it. But when it gets to the first theme, let's move ahead to that. One of the beautiful orchestral themes of all time. Right here. With that lush sound that only a string section can give you. Anyway, that and more, many, many themes in this wonderful, beautiful, noble, playful, forceful, powerful symphony. The Brahms Symphony No. 1 in C minor, affectionately known sometimes as the Beethoven 10th. So we hope you'll join us April 29th, 7:30 in the Victoria Fine Arts Center for the season finale of our 49th season, Gershwin Hits with the Brahms First Symphony with your Victoria Symphony Orchestra. Thanks for listening. Bye.